Today I'm going to be taking my CRF250X on some tight single track, so stick around. Thanks for tuning in to Dirt Biking with Donnie and Chase. I'm Donnie, and today I'm going to take my 2015 Honda CRF250X out on some tight single track and see how it does in the woods. But before I do that, be sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. So let's get on the trails. So today I'm at the Ridge Outdoor Resort in Springville, Alabama. And this is one of my favorite parts of the single track here. There's a lot of really good single track. So this is a 2015 Honda CRF250X. And Honda made this bike from 2005 up through 2017. I think 2017 was the last year they made this bike. It might have been 16. Anyway, so this bike had a long production run without really a lot of changes to the bike itself. It's kind of the 250X is the off-road version of the 250R. And as you know, the 250R is the motocross version. This is a really kind of steep downhill. The camera doesn't show that, but I have to concentrate for a second. But the 250R got a lot of upgrades over those years, from 2005 to 17. 250R became fuel injected at some point in that time period, but the X never really got any upgrades. So the 250X is carbureted, and there are a lot of advantages to having fuel injection on dirt bikes, but one of the advantages of having a carburetor on this bike is it's really difficult to stall, and it's got a little bit heavier flywheel, and all of that helps too, but it's really, compared to other off-road 250 4-strokes, this bike is really difficult to stall, which is really good. And the fuel injection bikes are a little more prone to stalling, especially the early fuel injected bikes. I'm talking about just in general, not just Honda, but off-road 250s and off-road 4-strokes in general. The fuel injected ones seem to flame out a lot easier than these old carbureted ones. So that's one advantage. This thing just gobbles up roots and rocks and stuff like that. The suspension is extremely good. The Showa suspension, and the X model is set up for off-road, so it's not nearly as stiff or harsh as the motocross bike would be, or the R model. It has really good suspension on it. The fact that see, look at these roots, it's right up over those roots. So the suspension on this bike is set up just about perfect for off-road use. Depending on your weight, you know, I mean, getting a bike suspension set up for you specifically is always best. But I'm about 175 without gear, probably 190 or so with gear, and it's set up just about right for me. This is all completely stock. And it's great on this tight single track. So I think from 05 to 17, for those 12 years, I think Honda was being a little bit lazy, not updating this bike, but they got away with it because it was such a good bike. And these things are pretty, as of right now, they're still pretty easy to find on the used market, and you can still find them in really good shape. I found this one a few months ago, maybe 6 months ago, and it had never really been ridden. It didn't have an hour meter on it, so I didn't really know how many hours were on it, but it still had the original chain and sprockets, and they still looked new. Had the original tires, and it had been ridden on the road some, so the rear tires was kind of flat in the middle. But basically, this bike was just almost like new when I found it. So you can still find them out there. This bike wasn't running when I found it, so that kind of helped me get a really good deal on it, because it had just been sitting in a garage for years. So the only thing wrong with it is the carburetor was really gummed up and needed to be cleaned out and rejetted and all that. Which kind of brings me to the next topic of the one of the drawbacks of these bikes is the factory jetting was really, really bad. It's super, super lean, and the airbox is completely plugged up, and the exhaust is completely plugged up, and that's all to make it green sticker California legal. So to make them run right, you really have to uncork them, which involves jetting the carburetor, and I did a JD jet kit, but you also have to cut out the top of the airbox and open up the exhaust, whether you put a slip on or modify the factory silencer. So once you get those mods made, the bike just runs so much better. It has a lot better low end and mid range. It starts much easier. You don't have the cold start issues you have when the carburetor is stock. This thing just handles roots and rocks and whatever you want to throw at it. If you're interested in my motovlogging mic setup, I did another video about that, and I'll include a link down in the description. I'll include Amazon links to everything you would need for the same setup. I'll also include links to some of the other mods I've made to the bike. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please give it a like. Our next race is only a couple of weeks away, so subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of those videos. Thanks for watching.